By grace ye are saved, and have raised us up together, and made us sit together in heavenly places in Jesus Christ.
Thank you. Amen. Amen. Let's look at verse number 4. Verse number 4. Let's read that. But God who is, this is the key name. But God who is rich in mercy because of his great love with which he, watch this, he loves us. Notice it doesn't say love, past tense. It means he loves, still loves us. Still loves us. But if you notice, I got in the bullet points, I have rich and then I have mercy. And the reason why I have those two in the bullet points is that this word rich means abundant. But God, I'm going to tell you something about it, and but God in a moment, but who is rich, who is abundant in mercy, even when we mess up, we still have mercy. Even when we fall short, we still have mercy. Oh, isn't that's agape love. Amen. That's God's love. Rich in mercy. This word mercy, anybody know what mercy means? But God, who is rich in mercy.
Love.
Okay, what else?
Forgiveness.
Mercy. What else?
I don't know.
Okay. Compassion. And not only is it compassion, but also, this is what it is. But let me finish before I do this. Compassionate, and it shows his kindness to us. Again, his love to us. Even again, like we mess up, we fall short because, and this doesn't make an excuse to do this though. Even though we're human, we fall short. But there's no excuse to keep doing it. Because some people take that and go, oh, well, I got mercy, and I got new mercies every day, so I got new mercy. No, it don't mean you go and mess up because you got mercy every day. New mercies every morning, Ecclesiastes. It means that we still do better. But God still has mercy on us. He still has compassion. He still loves us. He still has loving kindness or kindness toward us. He loves us. And I like this because of his. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just wondering, when it comes to mercy, and I know he's forgiven, and as you said, you don't keep doing it. For a person who does continue to do the same thing over and over and over, come back, repent, expect mercy, is it given?
Say that last one again.
Is it given?
You mean
Is his mercy still given?
still giving?
Yeah, we can't keep coming back for the same sin we've done, asking for forgiveness and expecting his mercy.
Turn to Hebrews chapter 10. I think it's verse 25. I think this answers your question. Verse 26. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26.
Hebrews 10:26.
Mm-hmm. Got it?
Yes.
Listen to what he says. For if we sin willfully, and I'm going to use this word on purpose, after we have received the knowledge of the truth. Watch this latter part here. There no longer remains a sacrifice for sin. His mercy, when I read I just thought about something. I just said, when I said mercy, God is not going to allow us, I'm saying like this, God is not going to allow us to keep on sinning when we know we're sinning. I give you a prime example. The children of Israel. God would bless them and they would keep on doing the same old stuff. Now watch this. God promised Israel the promised land. But because of the older ones kept on sinning, they did not see the promised land. The next generation saw the promised land. And what that leads us to understand is that God's not going to allow us to keep on sinning. Because if we keep on sinning, that means his death on Calvary cross was no good. None and void. And so people, wow. People in the 21st century, some 21st century churches, use it and say, well, here's the scripture used. We have an advocate with Father. Yes, we do, but God's not going to allow us to keep on sinning. There has to be a cutoff point. God is merciful, yes. God is loving, yes. But God's not going to allow it. It's just like a prayer. Here's a good example. It's like a prayer. A prayer keeps telling you, Johnny, do not get in the ginger snaps. Ooh, them good. I ain't had them in a while. Don't get in that cookie jar. Leave it alone. Johnny hears his parent or mother or father, whichever, tell him not to get in the cookie jar. There are consequences if he gets in the cookie jar without permission. He sneaks in the cookie jar. After being told, don't do it, it's wrong. He gets a whooping. Okay,
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, Lord.
So when are we turned over into a reprobate mind? And what does that mean?
Oh, now you're going to make me go to Romans chapter 1. I'm not going to go ahead, don't turn it. Let's do it. Well, I am going to turn that. No, I'm turn to Romans chapter 1.
Romans chapter?
It talks about, and we're actually in the day and time right now, because it talks about in chapter 1 of Romans how that men were with men, and women were with women. And this was not what God intended or purpose. So the Bible says he turned them over to a reprobate mind. And that one of the definitions of that is that they kept doing it and they thought that what they were doing was right. And that's what happens to some people. They've turned over and didn't know something, but God did give them a warning. I want to make this clear. God always gives warnings before he turned them over to that reprobate or sinful mindset. And that's what it is. He's turning them over. What they were doing, he thought was right. When we turn to the scripture, the verse.
I'm in Romans 1.
All right, let me get the scripture. Turn me to the verse. Oh. Chapter 1, verse. They had no mindset. I'm trying to find it. They had no mindset to do right. They didn't want to do right. I think it's right. I'm still trying to flip here to Romans. Yes. Now, yeah, the King James says reprobate mind. The New King James says abased mind, which is still the same thing. Verse 28. Let's read 28. Somebody read this from King James. I got the New King James. I need that word reprobate be said from the King James.
And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge.
Oh, watch this. As they did not like to retain God in their knowledge. That's a kicker right there. They did not want to retain God in their knowledge. Keep going, please.
God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient.
To do those things which are not convenient. New King James says those things which are not fitting. He turns them over that. Because literally what they've done, they rejected God. When they talk about the first part, and even they did not like to retain God in their knowledge. They did not want to keep God. So therefore, they didn't want God, they didn't want to keep God, so God turned them over to a reprobate mind.
So the one who is trying to do right and still continue to do ungodly things, they will eventually be turned over.
Let me say this. If anyone really wants to walk with God, they're not going to keep on doing this thing over and over. Because you got to have, two things got to happen. You got to have a great love for God and a great relationship with God. When you have those two things, those two components, you're not going to want to keep on doing wrong. Because you love God too much. And you know what God done for you and how much he loved us by giving his son. Ooh, I'll read you the next verse. But anyway, it's all right. But how he gave his son for us, he loved us so much. And so we also must love God so much that we will do all we can to live right. And to live holy. And to live righteous. Again, a dedicated love for God and a great relationship with God will not allow you to keep on doing it over and over and over to where you be turned over to the reprobate mind. Yes, ma'am.
And I was going to say too, I know she was saying how long. You say how long? His mercy? Yes. Okay. Two things. First, how long his mercy is, we can't say.
We can't.
Because his mercy, it is new in the morning. It
Yes.
has mercy upon whom he chooses, too. And then the other thing I was going to say too about reason why we don't, those that really, really love God and really, really trying to do the right thing, God knows that, and he sees the heart. So what he does, he sends conviction through his word.
Yes.
And that's what helps an individual to stop whatever it is.
Exactly. And that's the whole purpose of this. Yes. The whole purpose of this book is to teach us how to love and walk up holy before a holy God. And it shows us and it convicts us. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I thought I was walking the right way. No, I got a little problem here. So then you work on this. God help me. Here it is. Not to do that again. Not to walk that way again. Not to say that again. God help me. Because then you got that compassionate heart. God, I want to do better. I don't want to stay in this spiritual rut. I want to go higher than you. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
I asked because I have a grandson who I know knows there is a God. And he's done so many wrongs or things that he kind of thinks, well, now this is where I am at. And I asked this so I know better how to talk with him.
Understand. Good, good, good. Anybody else? Let me deal with this where it says, but God. The first part is, but God. Listen to this. But God, who is rich in mercy, he's always going to be rich in mercy. But here it is. And I just lost that part when I saw that. Here it is. But the word, but God, form one of the most significant and eloquent and inspiring transition in all literature, but God. Now we read, that's in the song said, but God, I think. I'm not sure, but anyway, it is. Okay. But God can do anything. Nobody can do what he does, and that's why it's so eloquent and so significant in all literature. But God. The man in Pennsylvania Avenue can't do what but God can do. He is not rich in mercy as God is. He does not have compassion like God does. I would go further, but I'm going to leave it alone. No, I am going to go there. That's why if he had the compassion, we would not be in the government shutdown.
Amen. Amen.
We got these people who have not had a check. They're in the second pay, not paid check now. And wondering if they're going to pay their mortgages. He doesn't have compassion. He won't do what he won't do. But God loves us so much. Woo, great love. Not just ordinary love, but the Bible says great love. Which he loved, or love, not love, that's past this, loves us. Currently, always will love us. Oh, wow. Anybody on verse number 4 before I go on? Talk to me.
No, this is not no question, but I'm wondering, so where are we at now as far as all the things that are happening to the people?
Mm-hmm.
Is this, would be considered a part of God's plan?
Explain what you say what happened to people.
Hmm?
Explain what you said with all the people.
All the people, you know, the ones not receiving jobs and the immigrants and all this other stuff. Because you know God has a plan for everything.
Yes.
So is he taking us through this to show me and everybody else his plan, his glory?
There's a purpose in the madness. I'm not sure what the purpose is, but we talked about some weeks ago. God already knew what was going to happen before we hit where we are now.
Yeah.
Yes. I personally believe is God going to show the world that he is God and not the guy on Pennsylvania Avenue who he thinks he is God. But God is going to show the world, the nations, that he is God and God all by himself. What's really kind of scary, and I think y'all seen the news, he wants to meet with the guy in North Korea. And he told him, when they met the first time, they weren't going to make no more bombs. They have shown there are some more that are hidden. That are hidden. And he wants to meet with him. You got two arrogant guys. Both of them are arrogant. Headstrong. Going in. But God is going to prevail. God is going to prevail in all of this. Chaos. He's going to prevail. Yes, he's going to prevail. God will show that he is God. And God all by himself. And we always say, and he don't need nobody else. Anybody so 4? 4:45? That was good. That was good. That was good. 5. Even when we were dead in trespasses, made us, King James says, quicken. New King James says, make us alive together with Christ. By grace you have been saved. Even when you were dead, and it's talking about spiritually, not physically, but when you and I were dead, spiritually, God made us alive or quickened us together with Christ. In his resurrection, he talks about with Christ. He's talking about referring to his resurrection. By grace, we or you have been saved. Dead in our trespasses, dead in our sins. We were talking about dead in our dead in trespasses or sins. We were enemies with God because we didn't know God as we know him now. So therefore, we were dead spiritually and enemies with God. We were destitute, and we were discarded. He loved us in spite of all of that. In spite of all that we did, in spite of all that we were, he loves us. And he loved us. He loved us so much that he gave his only begotten son to die for us. Oh my. And as a result, God loves us, and that he redeemed us, and the redeeming power of the death of his son, Jesus Christ. God sent his son, and his son gave his life, that you and I might be saved, and that we may have life and have it more abundantly. More, not abundantly, but more abundantly. I like that more abundantly. That's above the norm. That's extra. It's like you have copiers that you get in cartridge now has XL, extra long. He loved us extra. Above and beyond the norm, he loved us extra. Oh, I love that. I love that. And made us to live together in Christ. When he raised him up, he raised us up out of sin. Out of the muck and the mire, he raised us up. And guess what? And not only that, but he seated us with him. I'll deal with that in a minute. He seated us to be with him. Now, when it says seated, when I talk about seated with him, that's talking about the future. If we keep living, Sister Joy, if we keep living right, we're going to be seated with Jesus, who is seated at the right hand of who? Okay. I said it real soft though. No. See, at the right hand of God. And we're going to sit right beside him. Isn't that, oh, it's a blessing. To be in his glory. To be with him, and oh my goodness. It's worth it all, y'all. Made us alive. We've been converted. And we said, what's this? We talks about made us alive together. When he talks about us, he's talking about the Jews and the Gentiles together. There's no separation. Oh my. There is no separation. Made us together. Not separate, but together with Christ. It shows us that there is no separation when it comes to salvation. Ooh-wee. And not race. Yes, ma'am.
So, during that time, the only races were Jews and Gentiles. Or did Gentiles fall in a large number of people?
One of the reasons why, there's some several, but one of the reasons why you see the distinction between the Jews and the Gentiles. Number one, the Jews were God's chosen people. Okay. Number two, the Gentiles were considered heathens. Heathens. Life without God, they didn't have any favor. But thank God for Jesus Christ, who died for us and allowed us to be engrafted in to the same blessings as the Jews. And that's why you see a lot of times, one of the things we talk about, and that's why you see most of it, there was more nationalities, basically what you're saying, but they distinguished these two groups of people because one was God's chosen, one was not God's chosen. And we're Gentiles. And we're being excluded if we would. Ooh, Lord, have mercy.
So was it because of the Jews' action that God wanted us Gentiles?
Some commentaries say because of Israel, their disobedience, they kept repeatedly disobeying God. So God raised up the Gentiles to be engrafted in. Because if we go through history of the Hebrews and the Jews, they always kept messing up. God brought them out of Egypt. He takes them in the desert. He feeds them manna. They get sick of manna, which is a grainy substance. And we probably be the same way, to be honest with you. They was used to cucumbers and all that other stuff. And so they just got dissatisfied with the grainy substance that God provided for them in the desert. And so, I think Evangelist Moore said some years ago, since they wanted this cucumber and all this stuff so bad, God gave them so much to start coming out of their ears and nose. Am I right about somebody? and so they became so unthankful. That's the word I want to use. They become so unthankful, so ungrateful. So God engrafted us through the Lord Jesus Christ to be and inherit the same blessings they had. And that's why like I said, there were more different nationalities. And I'm not going to do it on enough time. But the other nationalities, but the Bible more so distinguishes those two group of people. And let me go back to Paul. Paul was a Jew, but his mission was to lead the Gentiles to Jesus Christ. And he was criticized by his fellow apostles. One of them was Peter. Basically what he was saying, he said, why are you associating with them and not having your group of people? And that's what Paul was saying, my mission is to bring the Gentiles into the kingdom. Yeah. Anybody want to add to that? Yes, ma'am.
The Lord hated the murmuring and
Yes, he
complaining.
did. That's right there.
Yes.
Yes.
They had, just, you know, to add to what you said, they asked for quail.
Yes.
They wanted meat, and they had all this,
Yes.
that the Lord had provided them with manna. And that's when the quail began to come out of their nostrils. So
Yes.
They ate and gathered more than he had told them to.
Yes.
They got greedy.
Exactly. You the word greed. You want it? Okay, you don't get it. Basically what he's saying. and connected with what you just said, if you go into Numbers chapter 11, because of their murmuring and complaining, God destroys a lot of them. And you go there, I think it's the first, second verse, maybe the third verse. They complained, so God consumed them in fire. Consumed them because of their complaining. Not only did they complain, but I will go here too. Not only did Israel complain, but even the one who God chose to bring them out of Egypt, he complained about them. Wow. Wow. But it shows that God converted them together, brought them together. And that's a blessing right there. Now, I want to ask you a question before I go to verse 6 and we'll be through. What does this word grace mean? What does this word grace mean? You'll see it again in this same chapter later on. What does this word grace mean? By grace, you have been saved. What does word grace mean? Huh? Did you say favor?
I said undeserving favor of God. That grace is favor. Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Anybody else? I'll connect with it. Anybody else? It means, one of the meanings is undeserving favor. We didn't deserve it. We did not deserve it, but he loved us so much. And all that we've done wrong, we did not deserve his grace. But because he loved us so much, undeserving. But God loved us so much. And he saved us. He saved us. We didn't deserve it, but I'm glad he blessed us. And also, when he gave us grace, he gave us it was a gift. It was a gift. Now, watch this. It was a gift. Guess what? We didn't earn it. Because the way we, as sinners, we didn't earn it. We didn't earn it. Because we were messed up. But because his unmerited favor, we didn't deserve it, but he blessed us with grace. We ought to be happy about it and be shouting all the time. Because we did not deserve to be saved. But because of God's love toward us, he gave his son, and his son gave his life. We receive grace and we are saved. By grace, huh? He said the veil was broken. Yes. Anybody else? On 6? All right. Let's go on 5. Let's go to 6. And he raised us up. There you go. They work together. Together. Again, together. He raised us up together. He did not raise us up separately. He raised us up together and made us a set together